See in the classroom is the second half of a lesson that I wrote about terminology for drawing. So this here is the beginning of the lesson, and it's going to set up what you're going to see in the following video. So I've been teaching a drawing lesson, and it's been my intention to develop the terminology and use of terminology in the class. I'm not assessing the terminology. It's more an attempt to have the students understand the language and use the language. We build up on this in subsequent units. So this is the Learning Management System lesson page, all right? So I'll read for you here. These are content, language, and culture objectives. I consider the terminology we have used in this unit. My confidence with terminology is increasing. I can see the connection between language and ideas. And it's this part, connection between language and ideas, that you're going to see in the following classroom video. Here are my thinking skill questions. When have I seen these terms before and in what context? And how important is it that some words have similar terminologies and definitions? And so the point that I'm making here is that sometimes in art, we have the same definition for different words, or sometimes we use the same word and it has slightly different definitions. And yeah, so I want the students to be aware of that. Here's the way the class worked. And once again, this is the class before the one you're about to see in the video, and this gets them ready. So look through the list of terminology, categorize the words you do, which you know, which you think you know, and which you do not know, just in case you missed it. Here's the terms. If your English is your mother tongue, translate 3 of these into your language B. If English is not your mother tongue, then translate 3 of the words you need. Also, I gave the students an option if they felt comfortable, like our school's English, Korean, and Chinese, and if they felt fine in all 3 of those languages, I gave them the opportunity to record, or I'm sorry, not record, to translate those languages into a language of their choice. A lot of them chose Japanese. Watch a video and fill in a worksheet. Now I don't have the video here. I got it from study.com, but it's a video about drawing and about drawing terms. Write the definitions for 5 terms. You may use English, Chinese, or Korean. Make sure you find the visual arts definitions for the words. There's a little bit of a typo there. Sorry. And this is the resource I gave them. I don't know if you've ever used this. The Getty Center for the Arts, and this is their formal analysis page. Takes a moment to load, but you can see a lot of the words that we use in class will be in here. And then this is also good. This is a dictionary for art language. And let's see. Right, and you type the word in here, and then it'll give you the definition for it. And I told the students to paraphrase. Now, that is the end of this class. We put these into the growth portfolio. You can look at the unit if you want to know more about the growth portfolio. And you'll see this in the video of the class itself. We're going to start by taking the terminology quiz. And it's a quiz that I gave the students. Here it is right here. It's a quiz that I wrote for the students. I told them it doesn't count for anything. It's building upon the words that they were exposed to in the video, words that they've had me use throughout the unit, and maybe some other words that we haven't come across as much. It's not assessed. It's just intended for them to understand some of the words that are being used and to use the words being used. All right, so when in the class video, when you hear me say, we're going to take a quiz, this is the quiz that the students are taking. So the lesson that you're about to see in the class here is the students building up to a process board. And what they're going to do is they're going to take all the activities that we did in class and put them together on a board like this. Now you'll watch, I'll be introducing the activity and how to go about it, and then you'll see some video of them working on it, and then you'll see them putting the board together. And that's what's going to happen in the classroom video. When that's all done, then I'll come back here to another screencast and we'll kind of have a discussion about what you saw.
Well, what we got to do today is take a quiz, all right? So where did I put that quiz? In-class work, language B, translate it, watch a video, write a definition 5 times. I know I had the quiz.
Just scroll down.
Is it, you just saw it and scroll down? You're right, thank you, Ryan. So, if you would, go to DX, all right? And if you look, my cursor's a little laggy here. Here's a terminology quiz, all right? Go ahead and take the terminology quiz. Just to make you feel safer about it, there's, how you do on this quiz absolutely does not count towards your grade, all right? It doesn't, I don't average, I don't keep scores. If you get 0 out of 10, it's okay. You can still get a good assessment in this class, all right? What you do have to do is take a screenshot of the results, just so I know that you took it, okay? It shouldn't take more than 5 minutes or so. So I'm going to give you 5 minutes. It's 2:17 now. I'll turn on some thinking music at, what is that, 2:22. We'll see how you did, all right? I'm okay? That's all right with it? All right, thanks very much, Katie. All right, go ahead, and I'll turn on some thinking music for you all. And then, were you the class where we did the level up, like I was gone for a day and I said choose one unit from that, one like lesson? All right, so we did level up, we can include that. Did you like those? I didn't write them, but I think they're pretty good. Anybody? Scale from 1 to 5, 1 was terrible, 5 was amazing. So, that's kind of like a 3 that flutters between a 4, 3, okay, I'm just curious. All right, so let's see, human proportions, level up, and then blind drawing. And the still life, which was a lot of that sighting, gestural drawing. I'm just going to write still life. All right? And light drawing. So we've got 8, which now means we can do lots of teams of 2. And then finally, positive, negative. All right, cool. So hopefully you have found your teams. We're going to do this negative. Sorry, my handwriting is messy today. We're going to do this the most honest, fair way I can think of.
Wait, there's also light drawing?
Light drawing right here. All right, the most honest way I can think of. Everybody, please think of a number between 1 and 9. All right? Any number in between there, between 1 and 9. Keep it in your head, because you might be asked to give that number. All right? Got it? Everybody's got their number? All right, so let's do bubble gum. I haven't done that one this year. Bubble gum in a dish. How many pieces do you wish? What's your number, Dana?
7.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's you, Hannah. Who's your teammate? All right, you and Jennifer, which one do you want to do? You pick first. Oh my gosh, put it on the spot. I don't know. Which one's your favorite? Which one did you enjoy the most? All right, put your name on media testing. All right, Minjan, who are you working with?
I don't know.
You don't know? Quick, somebody get together. All right, there. Lucas, go ahead. Pick one. Write your name up there. And then Hannah. All right, hand me the marker. Cool. And then Ashley, who are you working with? All right, you get to pick next. Go up there and pick. Ta-da, can I see? Oh, there it goes. All right. Go on, Ashley. Pick one. All right, Summer or Olivia. Can I see who you're working with? Rachel? Remember, if you push it down to the edge, down there, you see that middle bar, that silver bar? Then that'll make sure you get a right angle when you cut. And plus it also acts as like a stop, so it holds it in place when you cut. Yeah, you'd have to use a paint marker on that paper. Like the pop marker will paint it. Do you need help spelling it? Good job. This is mostly just because it's so We're going to do a new drawing for you. We're going to do a new drawing for your perspective drawing. Oh! Go for it. You can do it. Think about it like this. You can jump. All right. Do 1 point perspective because the face of the letter will be facing the viewer. So, may I use your pencil for a moment? So, this is another graffiti trick, right? So there's another D, right? And if you're doing 1 point perspective, then it's pretty easy. Right? Yeah, right down the spot. Easier for me. I just have a lot of colors. Yeah, and then that'll make it more perspective. Paint marker. Alright, and here's what we're going to do. One of you write line and the other write drawing. And you write it like, you just write it again and again and again and again and again. And so you fill up the whole page. Alright? And then you take the best line that you have and the best drawing that you have. And then combine those two. Yeah, that's it. Those markers need to be refilled. I need to tell this. Alright, so give yourself some space. And this is actually kind of like a technique that you do when you're like working on, when you want to get better hand lettering. So, you know, for example, if I was Nick, right, I would just sit here and write drawing, and just fill the whole page up. Leave a little space between each. Because that way, when you find the two good ones, you can just cut them out. But if they overlap, it's going to look funny. All right? So who's doing which one? Who's the blind, who's the drawing? All right, cool. To put it anywhere you like. All right. You're finished. Creative, constructive, non-annoying. Okay.
그냥 가져줄까? 아니, 있어, 여기. 어때?
All right, so what you want to do is just place it on the board. We've got, what, 8 of these things? We want to have them kind of evenly spaced. All right, so, but you can put it anywhere you want as long as it's not blocking these two. Yeah, great. And I was going to say also try and keep it above like here. Can I give you some instruction? Would you put it up, like fill up this space here? Or right here, right? Or right here. You decide. One of those 3 places, okay? Please, please. I'm not trying to boss you. Okay, so this is the last part. Well, this is the last part of what we're going to do today that's being filmed. And then the other part is answering some questions. And then the next time is the Venn diagram. And then maybe, since you move through this nice and quick, we could do the Venn diagram in class and then start designing our drawings. All right, so last thing that you're going to do. All right, there's some yarn in that basket right there. I just sort of picked blue because I like blue. All right, and you're going to cut yourself a length of yarn. Would you hold that for me, please? Great, thank you very much, Anna. Cut yourself a length of yarn, all right, and have a look at our process board here. And the goal is for you to connect one activity to another. So it can be on really any different way that you define that it's connected. All right, you can look at it and say, oh, perhaps you used still life drawing and perspective drawing very closely, right? That might be something that you did. Or like for me, probably what I'll do is, where is the positive negative? When I'm doing a still life drawing, I often really do think about like the positive and negative space, right? I know this came afterwards, but really any kind of like connection you can think of. It could be human proportions was really hard, and so was blind drawing. You could connect those, all right? The connection is for you to decide, all right? What you do is you take your length of yarn, all right, and I'm going to connect, because I already used this as an example, I'm going to connect still life drawing, all right? Maybe give it a little wrap around there so it stays sturdy. And bring it down here to positive, negative space drawing. And that way, I'm just making a mental and now a physical connection between the two. All right? So, make at least one connection to two different activities that we did. If you're really excited about this, you can maybe connect 2 or 3 together, right? So for example, maybe like media testing was really helpful to level up, and you saw some potential to do it with blind drawing, all right? You can connect 3 if you want. If you're really excited about it, you do one, and then you're like, oh, maybe I'll do another one, also okay, all right? So we'll give you a few minutes to do this. Please make room for your classmates. Yarn is here, all different colors. Scissors are here, all exactly the same. Go ahead and make at least one connection, and then head back into the classroom. All right, head on in when you're all done. Scissors. Let's do this. Oh, yeah, time. Smart. Cool. Hooray. There we go. There's our process board lesson. Yes. Thank you very much.
Finally.
Thank you very much, Ms. Tom.
What you just saw was the process board lesson. Now, I added that maybe only with a few days before I actually put it in. Normally we would do the terminology and then go right into the Venn diagram, but I remembered this process board activity, and I thought that it would be a very good way of kind of solidifying some of the language. I hope you'd also noticed at the beginning I added some translanguaging devices to help the students kind of access the language. In the next short screencast, I'm just going to show you the Venn diagram, and then we'll have a little bit more discussion as to what's happening with the unit and with the lesson before we wrap up. Here is the following lesson. Now, as I said previously, what I did was that process board activity was added rather late, well after I'd already planned the unit. I just thought it was going to fit really well. What I'll likely do in the future is I'll rewrite that terminology and Venn diagram to go along with the process board, because I think the process board forms a very good way of thinking about and using the language. So the next thing the students do is in groups, they make a Venn diagram both on the terminology and on the activities and the drawing techniques and approaches that we did. So you can see here, we've got our content, language, and culture objectives. I can learn through conversations with classmates. The Venn diagram is a group activity, but the students are chosen at random this time. In the last one, they got to choose their groups. They're categorizing drawing techniques. They're understanding the relationships between different drawing techniques. So the reason that we did the drawing board, process board, is so that they could see the relationships, or at least consider the relationships between different drawing techniques, because when they come to their final drawing, they have to make deliberate choices. What happens after that is the students choose 3 of these prompts. They get together in a group and they make a Venn diagram using some of their responses to the prompts as well as the terminology. And I don't have any exemplars because I've adjusted this over the years, and so I don't tend to put them on the learning management software because I don't want the students to redo something from a year or two ago when the lesson itself has changed. So there you go. There's kind of a long view of what's happening and how I'm teaching terminology in the visual arts class. You saw a little bit of what happened in the classroom. I hope it was illustrative for you, and I hope you have a really super day.